I want to get to what Byron Scott said about LeBron James because I missed it, and I heard that he had something to say. I didn't pay it any mind, but it must have caught traction, and it's got something to do with him saying that LeBron needs to leave Los Angeles. I think that's crazy. So I'm about to check that out. Tom, what's that word? I appreciate it. Make sure you follow me. I'll make sure I follow back. But let me go ahead. I want to see what Byron Scott had to say about LeBron.
I just thought it was laughable, coming from one of the greatest players that ever played a game, to say that it's harder to play now than it was then.
Are you ready to see him go from the Lakers?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, but I don't mince words either. I mean, I think this should be his last year here.
Not in the NBA, just here.
No, just here.
Yeah.
I really.
You don't gotta go home, but you gotta go.
Yeah. It's Morris Day. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
No, he didn't, bro. No, Byron Scott didn't say that, yo, with a straight face. And I respect Byron Scott. He an OG for the Lakers. But he's saying that this should be LeBron's last year here. He ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. I got a problem with these comments. I really do. Y'all know I do. Because first of all, if you was just saying that he sees something in LeBron that doesn't have any more game and LeBron just needs to hang up the jersey, then, I'm not going to argue with that type of opinion. But he's saying to me, what I'm reading, what I'm taking from that is that LeBron still got gas left in the tank, but it's not needed with this organization. He can no longer help this organization win, or not so much that he can't help this organization win. He's obviously more of a liability than an asset to this team moving forward, because Byron Scott is a champion with this franchise, so he knows what it takes to win. He knows about the ups and downs, the good and the bad. He's been in various situations from player to coach in the same organization. So I respect his take. But saying that LeBron don't have to leave the league but need to leave the team just clearly tells me that he feel like LeBron is hindering this ball club in some form or fashion. Skip Bayless said that Byron Scott was right. He said Byron Scott is so right. LeBron is so wrong. LeBron has set the lovey-dovey tone for today's soft and toilet paper NBA. I am so lost and confused. I mean, I know the hate is real when it comes to James, but I'm confused on what's a better option. And I've been asking y'all that for the last 6 to 8 months. Everybody that's crying about they want LeBron to be gone, the guy who really breathed life back into this damn organization, because the Lakers as a fact wasn't on nothing once Kobe retired. Even when Kobe last years in the league, the Lakers was never on nothing. LeBron brought championship relevance back to this ball club. He brought a culture back to this ball club. You got Anthony Davis thanks to LeBron. You got Luka partially thanks to LeBron. I mean, it amazes me, the disrespect. But to hear Byron Scott, and I done heard other former Laker greats talk about, LeBron, Robert Horry won. Magic Johnson has had things to say before in the past. This Byron Scott take, though, yo, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked, bro. Because number one, I totally disagree. LeBron James definitely is more of an asset than a liability to this ball club. And you don't have to agree with everything LeBron says, everything LeBron does. That's cool. Who has in these 20-something years? But at the end of the day, if you care about the Lakers' success, short-term and long-term, explain to me what's better out there, Byron Scott. Oh, man. I think Byron Scott needs to be drug tested. I'm dead serious. Byron Scott needs to be drug tested. This is crazy. If you want to say LeBron is cooked, or you just feel like he ain't got his legs, or you just feel like he ain't got the energy, the passion that you've seen in the past, I mean, by all means. But y'all sitting there on that podcast with some straight faces being so disrespectful. You think this should be LeBron's last year, Byron Scott? Why? For what reason? What is LeBron showing you or giving you that makes you or gives you the vibe that this should be his last year? For what reason? What are you going to bring in? Are you that convinced that Austin Reeves is going to get the deal from the Lakers? And him and Luka is the answer to the future? Like, let's be realistic. I'm shocked by Byron Scott. I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to be disrespectful. But, man, we got more from Byron Scott. Hold on. He had more to say. Hold on. So let's go to this one. This is another video. This is from the same podcast. Oh, Byron. Oh, Byron. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Than it was back in the day, bro. Not even close. The fast break.
Listen, I'm a big LeBron fan. I don't think he's the greatest that ever played, but I'm a big LeBron fan. But that was laughable to me.
Damn.
When I heard that, I said, wait a minute. So you're saying that it's easier to play in the 80s than it is today? That
did you ever see the Celtics and Lakers and the Kirk Rambis fouls and all those stuff?
You guys are trying to take each other's heads off.
You never saw the Pistons play back then?
No, and it's, Chick Hearns was saying, no blood, no foul. You get up, you
Shame on you, Byron Scott, yo. Shame on you, Byron Scott. With a straight face, you saying this? I need context, really, behind LeBron's comment. Because definitely, I've watched the game. He played the game, so I get it. I've played the game, not on that level, but I've watched the game since the 80s. And yes, it's a definitely more physical game, more aggressive game back then, this, that, and the third. For sure, for sure. But I believe for LeBron, the game back then would have been more easier for him because there's less skill players back then like today. LeBron is a freight train, a freak of nature. So even though people want to call him soft and all this other type of stuff, we talk about the physicality, just the build. LeBron is built for that. He played football in school. So I think for LeBron specifically, playing back then, it would have been easier for him because he don't have a Kevin Durant, a Kyrie Irving, a Kawhi Leonard. When everywhere you go in the NBA now, you got 2-3 skill players on all 30 teams. It wasn't like that back in the 80s. For other players in the league, like a Byron Scott, for example, he wasn't as strong and a freak of nature physically as LeBron. So I could see why his take would be completely opposite, feeling like the 80s was more tougher. It might have been tougher on him because of who you are and a lot of others, because LeBron is not a guy that, even Shaq, I think Shaq playing in the 80s, even though Shaq dominated in the 2000s, and I think if Shaq played in the 80s, the game would have been even easier for Shaq. Certain individuals, I think, playing back in the day, it would have been easier for them. That's why I say I need context behind what LeBron said. I don't think that maybe the game as a whole is tougher, but I think because of LeBron, who he is, he wouldn't have had an issue with the physicality. But he would have been going crazy because there's not as many skill players in the league back then as it is now. Every time you turn around, we got some new guys that's really about that business. So I think that's the difference to me.
Shoot your free throws, you keep playing. The game was so much more physical then. Now you could sit back and say, well, the score wasn't as high. Go back and look. Our scoring, we had probably between 12 to 15 teams averaging over 100 points a game. So the pace of the game was just as fast as it is today. I don't think the guy.
But that's half of that's just half of the NBA or the league, or more than half. That's not even half. Or that's just half. That's not even half of the league that was averaging 100 points. And the Lakers was a fast break Showtime team. Like, y'all was identifiable off of that type of style of play. So, you know, by default, y'all gonna fit into that. But the pace wasn't that crazy. I mean, again, I'm not trying to dispute what Byron said because he played the game. But I also watched the game. I watched Byron play, ups and downs. I just disagree.
You know, we played 94 feet because everything was predicated on getting the ball inside and out, right? They play 60 feet today because everything is predicated on shooting threes.
Yeah.
But back in the day, playing 94 feet, you can hand check, you can be aggressive, you're slowing guys down. You can't touch nobody now. So if I'm playing you 94 feet, and if I can't touch you, if I can't bump you, slow you down, rearrange you, readjust you, if you get past me or if we get lateral, you're going to beat me 94 feet down the court. It's a race. The game has changed right now. Byron Scott knows that because he's a coach.
Yeah.
You know, so
You're not
you're
even going inside.
Yeah, you're not going up and down like we did back in the game.
I've heard enough, bro. I have heard enough. Shame on Byron Scott. Wow. So the question is now up to y'all. And I think I know what the answer is because all of y'all are some damn haters. We've been rocking for years. I know y'all. Do you agree or disagree with Byron Scott? Let me know in the comment section. He feel like LeBron James' time is up. He needs to go. He don't have to leave the league, but he needs to leave Los Angeles. I need to know if y'all agree or disagree. And if you do agree, can you give me a better scenario for these Lakers? Tell me what's better, realistically. Because Giannis ain't coming to save the day. It ain't going to be none of that. This is not NBA 2K, so it's none of that. Realistically, with LeBron gone, you can have the $50 million. What you going to spend it on? What you going to spend it on? That's what I want to talk.